Hello, everybody. Welcome to Disabilities Redefined with Dr. Wagner. I am Dr. Truett Wagner, and I'm very, very happy you are here. This is our first Where Are They Now episode featuring some of the most beautiful Miss Wheelchair USA title holders. On top of all that, this is another first because we are screening the episode here, the Miss Wheelchair USA pageant. We're broadcasting it in New York City, MNN's network, and it is also premiering on YouTube, all in the same weekend. So listen, what else can I say? Enjoy the show. So I'm starting out. Phaedra, we just saw Phaedra. She did a great interview, of course.
Of course.
Okay. How are you? You look beautiful as always. How was everything?
Thank you. I'm great. Just crazy getting ready. Lots going on with Miss Wheelchair USA, as always.
Yes, as always. My first year with Miss Wheelchair USA, I actually got to meet Yvette Pegues in person. We judged together.
Right.
And for this special, we were lucky enough to have her here on set with us in New York City. We were trying to come up with a photo session because, as you know, throughout the year, we bring in a lot of Miss Wheelchair USA contestants and runners-up and the winner, of course. We just kept it simple with her, and we got some great New York pastries and had a great photo session.
Is that like dinner and a show?
I think that she went to a lot of dinners and shows here. But I tell you, for such a slimline beauty, she was dogging some pastries.
Girl can eat her pastries. That's all right. That's great. Eating pastries and wearing a crown. What more can you ask for, right?
There you go.
She's totally amazing. She was our Miss Wheelchair Georgia USA, and then she won the national title, became Miss Wheelchair USA, and then a few years later came back and became our very first Miss Wheelchair International. So I can't wait to see her interview. She's just awesome.
So my name is Dr. Yvette Pegues, and I had the absolute pleasure of being Miss Wheelchair International 2018-19 and a little bit through COVID. I live in Atlanta, Georgia. I have two incredible children, Isaiah and Elijah, and a perfectly imperfect husband. And I'm an engineer, so I have the absolute pleasure of being a product and process tester for the ADA. As a little girl, my mom said you can be pretty or you could be smart. So I ended up becoming an engineer, and it wasn't until the Miss Wheelchair USA pageant that I was told that I could be both. The pageant actually gave me permission to be and feel beautiful as well as being smart.
Sarah Keedy Harvey and Fanchon Pierce, they've done amazing jobs. So, yeah.
They're wonderful. They're wonderful ladies. So they're just as smart and interesting and just have so much to say and to share with everybody.
So my name is Sarah Harvey. I won Miss Wheelchair USA in 2011. At the time, I was Sarah Keedy. I was not yet married, but my platform was disability awareness on the college campus. I was all about it. I really felt truly glamorous. I will not lie. Loved to go to my appearances with my sash. I felt like a supermodel, and I loved it. So not only did that, of course, help with your confidence, but it really gave me, I almost felt like Hannah Montana, like I was living, two different lives. I was two different people. All these years later, I am happily married. I am residing in West Virginia still. I'm working as a dental hygienist. I am a mom to a 3-year-old daughter, and I'm actually expecting my second little girl in September. So I am 5 months pregnant. And I am so thankful to have been that voice. And even if I didn't get directly to maybe benefit from some of those changes, I'm just glad to have paved the way for other people so that they now have access on their campuses, and maybe living on campus and attaining a degree doesn't seem so far-fetched because now things are going to be able to be accessible to them. So that's all I wanted, and it's all I could have asked for. So I'm very, very blessed to have had that opportunity to make the change and continue to advocate for other things in my community now too.
And hello everyone, I'm Fanchon Pierce, better known as Fanny, Miss Wheelchair USA 2023-2024 title holder. Representing the country as Miss Wheelchair USA was life-changing for the good, I should say. I was able to explore different parts of the United States, see different people that were actually impacted with a disability, as well as help empower them to be a more effective leader, whether it was just me coming out from doing speaking events or just guest appearances. Currently, I am a disability ADA counselor. Um, I got a few more classes left. I have 5 classes left before I graduate and getting my degree in human services and global civic change. I'm also partnered up with the University of Illinois in Chicago as a peer navigator, and that's inside of the occupational therapy department. And what we do is help individuals that's newly disabled integrate into the community. It's people that are seeing you. Like, to be able to be introduced to Miss Wheelchair USA, blindsided, because again, I saw it on social media and I was impacted by the ladies that I had already ran and what they were doing in the community. It actually made a spark within myself say, hey, what am I doing? You know, not saying I wasn't doing much, but it actually gave me that push to want to keep going further and then show others, hey, this is what I did. And to have Miss Wheelchair as a backing to highlight my accomplishments, that actually, it really, it touches my heart. It really does. And the fact that I'm still connected even after I won, it really matters to me. I appreciate it.
Yep. Fanchan and Sarah, they both have made their mark. Well, America and within the Miss Wheelchair USA pageant history, therefore America.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
yeah,
Across the
and
country, they've definitely been amazing representatives of our organization and of women with disabilities. So getting back to Yvette, when she won, there was still a cloud over Miss America due to the scandal that happened years before. Of course, I'm referring to Vanessa Williams, and we love Vanessa. She's a fighter and she's become a huge Hollywood star, but it did take a while for that cloud to disappear. So let's get back to Yvette and hear what she has to say about that as we finish up her interview.
yep, we'll be right back.
I started in Georgia as Miss Wheelchair Georgia, representing the state. And I was told that I can actually represent the nation as Miss Wheelchair USA. Little did I know that I became the first woman of color to ever win the Miss Wheelchair USA national pageant. Wow, after the Miss America scandal, I think so many, little girls and women probably felt like pageants were no longer available to them because it felt like at the time doors were being opened. So when those doors were abruptly closed, it seemed like we had to start over. And so to think that over 2 decades later, I was able to win the Miss Wheelchair pageant representing the nation, that these doors got reopened. I won't say it was something I did personally, but I just think nationally the messaging was restored. And so I was really happy to be that person, but I didn't really go in thinking about that. But what a wonderful outcome. Everything from sponsorships to TV opportunities to, speaking opportunities and contractual agreements that I've been able to have, even all these years later, after I've gone back to school and received a PhD. They always ask about the pageant. It was absolutely the turning point because it's more than just rolling across the stage and waving. It's really about what happens after the cameras and the lights go off. It's who you become as a result of it. This is my opportunity to say thank you to Miss Wheelchair USA and the leadership and the love that I received, not just during that year or two, but we're still family that never changes, and I'm excited to always be part of the Miss Wheelchair USA family.
For a few years ago, we rounded you and Phaedra up. I thought about all the glamorous award shows and things that you see on TV, and they all have red carpets and backstage lives, so Miss Wheelchair USA needed that too. So you and Phaedra make a perfect team and just have added so much to our organization as a whole, certainly, but those live shows before all the action happens and still during all the action happening, which I don't think some people know. But it's been great to have you both, and certainly, Phaedra is awesome.
On a personal level, Winning Miss Wheelchair USA forever changed my life. It changed my entire career, actually. I was working in Missouri. I was Miss Wheelchair Missouri at the time. And then becoming Miss Wheelchair USA, my platform was underage drinking and prevention. So I started with my tour of being able to share my platform everywhere. And that actually landed me a job in Nashville, Tennessee, working with teens and underage drinking prevention. And knowing that I had the opportunity to represent other little girls across our country, to be able to make an impact, to be able to let them realize that dreams can come true. Just because you're sitting in a wheelchair, just because you're living with a disability, doesn't mean that that has to define you, because you can actually define that disability, and you can be able to have a role that you can create to be able to just spread that awareness everywhere. It's a beautiful experience. Now let me be real a little bit. I got to the point where I was like, I'm representing our country. I can't go to Walmart without my makeup on. Because I needed to feel like I needed to always be able to represent. But in some ways, I mean, I know as much as silly as that is, I think it's very true. You have to be prepared. You don't know who's going to recognize you, and you don't ever know what's going to be happen. But constantly, I would be stopped and I would be asked, hey, aren't you Miss Wheelchair USA or Miss Wheelchair International? And to be able to have that, I wanted to make sure that I always gave everyone that appearance, and to know that every time I left my house, I'm representing this amazing title. You will always hold that title. There will never be another person in this country who is Miss Wheelchair USA 2025. There will never be another Miss Wheelchair USA who is, other than me, who was Miss Wheelchair USA in 2010. So as you are winning that title, you always hold that title. And it's something that is always part of your life. It will always be who you are. From every moment that you ever walk out your front door, you will always be that title. I mean, even now, my son and I host a podcast, and we work it very much like we do the red carpet. It's not scripted. We just sit, we talk, and we are enjoying things in our life. But it's those daily things that you learn that every day can be a learning day. And as you take those tools and you throw them in your toolbox, it makes an impact in your every single day life. Whether it's having that title, or whether it's working for a job interview or friendships or relationships, Miss Wheelchair USA will help you grow to be the person that you choose to be.
I guess the final question would then be, just because it's just us here, nobody else is listening.
Right. I hope that's not the case, though.
What do you think really makes well, in layman's terms, a good beauty queen? And you've had experience that as well with getting back to Miss America. You were part of the Miss America circuit, the whole 9 yards.
I was.
What do you think makes a good beauty queen?
I think there are a lot of things that go into that, and certainly having that self-confidence and respect for yourself to fulfill what people consider beauty, but to be able to talk with people, be respectful of yourself, represent whatever is important to you, and continue to do that, not only while you're wearing a crown, but throughout the rest of your life. Mm-hmm. I was in the Miss America organization a very long time ago. Mm-hmm. And I hope that when I speak about that organization, that I still am able to represent what I learned from that and be able to share that now with these ladies doing Miss Wheelchair USA, but even other young ladies that want to be in pageantry, to be able to say, these are the kinds of things to think about. And if there's one thing that I think, especially now with social media and all those things, people are always watching. Yes. And people are always looking, and there's always an expectation of what someone who wears a crown should be or should say or how they should act. And I think that, respect and kindness and understanding and advocacy is the most important thing.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.